article today, and it's something that I kind of hyper focus on. And one of the big things that has been kind of grating me is about this one stock. So it's called Mara. I've shared it with you guys before. Mara, let's see the chart over here. So this is a mining company, and if you look at the chart, see how it went up? I bought right here, and I thought it was more, so I did that FOMO thing. I thought it was gonna go up because I thought, okay, well, everybody's going with the whole Bitcoin thing. You know what? F it. Let me put money into it. So I put money into here, $20.30. Right now you can see it's $18.30. So I am down 33% or $441.88. So when you look at this, it peaked, it went down, went up again, and kind of, when I was over here, I thought there was a chance it was going to break out, but it didn't. It just kind of went down and down and down and down. So this thing, this Mara, looks very similar to this chart, which is Bitcoin. See? I don't know if I can do it side by side right now. Was this the 1 month? Am I looking at the 1 month? Let's check real quick. It's the 1 month. 1 month? Yeah, that's the 1 month. So you can see it went up around the 7th. See over here? Like 7th, 8th-ish, and then it sank down. And if you look at this one, it also went up around the 7th, 8th-ish, and then it went down. See? And then it went down that way. Same with this one. See it? It went down over here. So if Bitcoin goes down, right now Bitcoin is at $32,402. Mara is going to continue going down. And I was thinking about selling Mara because I thought, for frick's sake, one of the things that worries me about Bitcoin is this. I don't know if it's gonna go down tomorrow, all because there is no financials I can track it. It all is dependent on demand, and it could go up 10% on Monday, or tomorrow it can go down 10%. And if this goes down, of course I'm gonna lose money on this, and like I mentioned before, I'm already down 33%. So I looked up some articles because I'm actually thinking about selling Mara. And then I came across this, and all the links are in the description. So last month, Visa said that they're going to back the first ever credit card to offer Bitcoin rewards. And they're going to be partnering with BlockFi. And one of the things that I firmly believe about Bitcoin is when you don't have media attention, when you don't have the news, Bitcoin drops. Now, having some Bitcoin reward credit card will solidify the demand about Bitcoin. Now, if this is going to go up, if this is going to stay at the 32K, or if it's going to go drop down, I don't know. But Bitcoin is not going to be going away, especially if Visa decides to have it. Visa rolls out a credit card with Bitcoin rewards. That's what I'm trying to say. The more publicity on Bitcoin, the more institutions that use Bitcoin or have these Bitcoin holdings in it, it's going to be around longer. The price isn't going to catastrophically go down, in my opinion. And BlackRock, I found out, look at this, BlackRock, which is a huge investment company, they said that they're going to have 2 funds that can now invest in cryptocurrency. This is a huge company, by the way, really big. So you can see that this is an $8.7 trillion asset manager. And yeah, so when I was looking at this article, and then when I was looking at this article, it made me think that there is a chance, of course, that Mara can recover. Now, looking back at things, maybe it's smarter for me to invest in Bitcoin, but I don't want to invest in Bitcoin. I really don't. I don't want to have the ups and the downs. So I think I'm just going to stick with Mara. But Mara's not the only company. There is also Riot as well. So if there's another company in there, I don't know what's going to happen with Mara. I'm curious to ride it out, though. I'm very, very curious to ride it out. Do I think Bitcoin is going to go up when this credit card rolls out? Of course. Visa stock will also go up in my opinion, because then you have all the people who are Bitcoin believers. Was this Bitcoin? No, Bitcoin believers over here saying, "Hey, we gotta buy Visa because Visa is leading the way with the credit cards, and if that is successful, I guarantee you, other credit cards will follow." So so Visa is going to be the innovator over here, and when this is going to roll out, yeah, it's somewhere in spring 2021. Look at this. All states except New York. Yeah. So you're gonna 1.5% cash back, and then it's going to be automatically converted into Bitcoin and then placed into a BlockFi account every month. But then you also have a $200 annual fee as well. So when you sign up, you get $250 in Bitcoin. I think it's a good move to make. Visa is a strong company. The stock hasn't been doing so well lately. Let me show you guys this. This is Visa's one of people say you can buy and hold forever. This is not stock advice. This is just what I've heard around. And but the chart itself is kind of lackluster. Let me see. I was actually thinking of selling Visa, but now I'm like earnings. I think is on Thursday or so. So let's see here. This so let's go to the 1 year. See, I'm like, it's doing that freaking sideways thing, which I really hate. So I went down, of course, or when the situation occurred, and then went up. What's gonna happen after Visa rolls this thing out? It could go up, but I don't think that Bitcoin is going to be going down a lot. I do think it has a possibility of going up. More credit cards offering Bitcoin rewards, more institution investing it. That again, that it's not going to drop down to the 4K levels. And companies and institutions are just buying up Bitcoin. So that's all I wanted to say over here. Let's see here. I don't like the energy. I don't like the requirements as well. There was actually an article that I was reading. Look at this. Black Iran blackout Bitcoin. This came out today, I believe. So this showed up in my feed. Look at this. Iran pressure blackouts on pollution targets Bitcoin. Oh, here it is. So their energy, I think it's like 4 cents for kilo. Oreo. So he jumped onto the couch. So Iran has a lot of Bitcoin mining places because it's only like 4 cents per kilowatt or something like that. So you look at this thing. See, so a lot of the capital has been experiencing repeated blackouts because of Bitcoin, and it's, as you guys said, it's very energy intensive. So when you look at this, see, dozens of large cities are reporting blackouts, and where is it? Oh yeah. See, so it has one of the top 10 highest cryptocurrency capacities of 400 megawatts per day. See, right here. Iran's cheap electricity, which costs 4 cents per kilowatt versus the average 13 cents in the US. So, yeah. So with what was going on with US sanctions, people just decided Bitcoin instead, and because it's just kind of ruining their electricity over there. It's not good. This charting program, it's called TradingView.com. You can go to trade. Oh crap. Let me pull this up. TradingView.com, and I use black mode. So if you look over here, I made an account over here. You just took dark color theme. See, because if you go light, oh my gosh, it's so freaking blinding. I hate that. So I always do black, dark mode right here. So that's what I do, and yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so Bitcoin going up. I believe it will go up. How high it will go up, I don't know. But It's definitely not going to crash down to 4K levels when you do this kind of stuff. You know, the more people who use this Bitcoin reward stuff, think about it. You see someone using a Bitcoin rewards, they tell you about it. They're like, oh, yeah, you know, I can get cash back in Bitcoin. And cash back is kind of like free money, right? Because you're making purchases anyway. So when they use this, they will, then other people see it, then people might also want to get on the Bitcoin board because maybe they don't want to buy their own Bitcoin, right? Maybe they'll be like, okay, well, instead of using airline rewards, because not too many people are traveling anymore, they might convert over to this Bitcoin reward. I think it would make sense. I think it makes perfect sense to do a Bitcoin reward. It's free money, and some people they have a lot of cash, so yeah, they might just decide to use that. Um, but there's only what 25 million Bitcoins out there, if I'm. So I don't know how it works. If you want to buy Bitcoin right now, are you guaranteed to get it? Because I'm sure there's more than 25 million people trading it. I guess who knows? Uh, You know what? Thoughts about GME? Hard to say. GME is getting pumped by Wall Street bets on Reddit, and they are saying, "Hey, you know, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up." What happens? And you know, people are going to be holding, but when people decide to let go of their shares, you're going to have some people who are not part of that, and they want to ride the wave. You know, fear of missing out, just like I did with Mara. I invested in Mara because I saw it shooting up. And when I saw this stuff, like you can see how much it went up, right? When I saw it, I thought, hey, it's going to go up. So I'll have a cushion and then I'll feel comfortable holding it. But unfortunately, see my little dot here? It went. So I have a lot of false hope around here. And that's why you guys hear about me cursing it. But my belief is that this will go up. When? I don't know. I don't know exactly when, but I guess I have to wait for a couple months just to go up 33%. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll look back at this from like a year ago and I'll be like, you remember that Mar that I was really cursing out and I got in at what price at 27.30? Yeah, it actually panned out pretty well. The downside about holding on to a stock like this is that you guys know that CCIV is going up, BlackBerry's going up, and they're I think BlackBerry had like 25% gains yesterday. So if I hold on to Mara right now, I won't be able to invest more money into BlackBerry or CCIV. And that's just because like I have a lot of my funds tied up and I have holdings that I don't want to touch at all. So these are long-term holdings that I think to myself like, yeah, I have some funds that you see me play around with, but you'll notice that it's like a couple hundred, 1,000, then I'll pull that out and put it into another stock. I don't want to have a portfolio where I feel that it has if I forget about it, it could just tank. So something like Mara, I felt comfortable investing $1,000 in. I think it was more than 1,000 actually, at the time. But looking back, right, I Mara had so much volatility. I was taking the risk that it was going to go down, and it did go down, and then it went back up. So Mara went up 4%, and maybe it'll go back up here, and maybe it'll shoot up, or maybe it won't. I think that so BlackBerry was a stock that I was looking at in 2018. I bought some shares of it, and I really felt like it was undervalued. So everybody thinks that BlackBerry is the phone, you know, that old phone that everybody was using or some people were using in like the early 2000s. They focused on cybersecurity, and they said this back in 2018. So I bought some stock, and I was waiting for it to break out, but it never broke out. And fast forward, I think it was like last week, I see BlackBerry shot up 12%. I'm like, what the hell happened? What happened? You know, what is the news? And then I find out that people are pumping up BlackBerry on Wall Street bets. And that was the time I was like, finally, BlackBerry is going up. So I use that as like my little anchor point. I actually had to average down because when I bought BlackBerry, it was about $12 or so. It was like 12, $13, and then it went down to I think about $6 or $7. So I was averaging down, and then it got to a point where it's like I just stopped. I was like, you know what? I feel like comfortable investing this much into BlackBerry, and that's it. Now I can pull the money out from Mara and then invest it into BlackBerry, but I'm concerned. Frick, is Mara gonna go up? You see what I'm saying? Because I can't time this thing. Most likely, it won't because I don't see this thing going up 33% in a week. But I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. It would be less stressful just to hold, but I know I'm gonna kick myself if I keep it in here and I'm like, frick, BlackBerry went up like 30% and I had it stuck in Mar and I'm gonna have to hold on to this until spring 2021. So yeah. You know what? My opinion is if you're interested in investing in an ETF, I really like ARKK. I also like ARKW. ARKW has, I believe, grayscale. Great. I might be remembering wrong, but It's a Bitcoin holding in there. So, that's the reason why I invested in ARKW, and that hasn't been doing so bad at all. Let me pull this up really quick. There's a whole bunch of ARK funds. I don't know much about the rest, but when I looked at this, I thought, okay, well, I don't wanna have too much risk about Bitcoin. So I felt more comfortable investing in ARKW. See, so you can see the 1 month. I can't see the growth over here, but let's say the 5 days growth. See, so it's been going up, and if Bitcoin goes up, more people would, yeah, this would go up as well. It's not, it's, I think it's heavy on Tesla if I remember correctly. A lot of the ARK funds, ARKK and ARKW, have Tesla in it. There's a lot of overlap with this one, for the ARK. Yeah, so let's see here. You're talking about ICLN, right? iShares Clean Energy. ICLN is pretty good, but I don't know when the green energy stuff is gonna happen. And when I look at this stuff, let me show you guys. Like people have been pumping up this one. I don't feel comfortable investing in this. That's just me. See? So people have been comfortable on this. I'm like, oh my gosh, it goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up, then it goes down, and yeah. So Plug is one of the holdings of ICLN, iClean, but you might have to hold for a long time. It all depends. Like if you feel comfortable investing in an ETF, I I'm tech. I'm a big fan of tech. So I would go with ARKK, ARKW, but you can also go with CLN. But whatever you do, just my opinion here, if you are kind of risk adverse or if you feel kind of like you're scared it might tank, just do up. So if you want to invest, let's say $1,000 into a stock, right? Just do like $100 at a time or $200 at a time, and then average it out maybe on the course of a few weeks or a few months. It's a lot less risky that way. For me, when I did Mara, I put in the $1,000 all in one pop. So you can see that it backfired on me because when I did it, right? Come on, Mara. When I did it, it tanked, and then I didn't have any funds. I didn't want to put any more funds to chase it down, and that's the downside about putting to go kind of like quote all in at one certain time. See, so you guys can see when I went in. Oh wait, where's Mara? Yeah, so when I invested around here or so, right? Because I put all over here, it's not like when it went down here, I could have averaged out in between. If I averaged out in between, I'd be a little better, right? So I could have gotten like portion over here, portion around here, hold, see how it goes, and then do another portion over here, or then maybe just hold or put a portion over here. Yeah, and the same as the reverse. If it was going up, I could just kind of go steadily up as well. But people do. Biden is planning to do with a lot of green legislation. We don't know what the timeline is. So if people feel like ICLN isn't really moving, they might be tempted to kind of sell off. They'll be like, this has been taking a while. I could have put my money into BlackBerry instead. I could have put my money into GameStop instead and have something like a 30% gain. GameStop, it's really uncharted territory. I do know that I'm reading that some people are planning to put a lot of money into GameStop when it opens. But the problem is that when people see a big surge, sometimes near opening, you also see a big surge, but then you also see a big drop. And do I know if it's going to recover after a big surge and a big drop? I don't. So, yeah, but that's the risk that you take with investing in the stocks. It can either go up or it can go down. And for Mara, I misjudged. It went down. Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, curious to see what happens to Bitcoin in the next couple months. I think that I think it's going to kind of stabilize. Once this credit card comes out, right? Once this credit card comes out, I think Visa stock will go up because then you'll have the people who are on the Bitcoin, who are Bitcoin believers signing up for Visa, and then Bitcoin go up as a result of that. They'll be like, hey, we got all this new interest in here. Maybe I'm misjudging it because I don't know how popular this Visa credit card is. But like I said, I imagine for the people who do not feel comfortable out of Bitcoin, I imagine they're going to jump onto that Visa credit card. It has a $200 annual fee, so I'm not a big fan of this thing. I don't like having any credit card with an annual fee. But when you get it, it's offset with $250 in Bitcoin after spending $3,000 or more on the Bitcoin. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You got the big B over here, so everybody knows that you have a Bitcoin credit card. And that's not a bad idea. It really isn't a bad idea. Having a big logo like this encourages people to think about Bitcoin. And without people thinking about Bitcoin, without people buying Bitcoin, Bitcoin stock goes down. That's what I've seen repeatedly. And in 2019, I think it dropped below 4K because nobody was talking about Bitcoin for a while. Let's see here, over here. See? 5 years. Let's go to the 5-year mark. Was it around here? Yeah, see. Oh, damn it. Yeah, so you can see. So you remember when Bitcoin was like 19K over here? See, it went down, and then nobody was talking about Bitcoin. So then it just kind of steadily went down, and then it went over here, and then it went up. And then the situation happened afterwards, and then it got more media attention because they're like, hey, look, if Bitcoin went up today, and then all of a sudden people are buying it again, and then it's going down again. Yeah, so will it continue to go down? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I can't predict the future, but it's not going to go down to these levels once you have something like a Visa credit card coming out, the cashback credit card. Yeah, so lots of things for me to think about what I'm going to do about Mara. I kind of want to sell it. I kind of want to hold it. Maybe I should just sell half of it and then run with the other stocks, and then I can just pull it out maybe and then reinvest it into. I don't know if I really would want to reinvest in Mara now that I think about it. I don't know, but anyway, whatever happens, we'll see in the future. It does look like a bubble. It does look like a bubble, but the difference between this is, like I said, once you have a Visa credit card with Bitcoin rewards, it's encouraging people to use their money, right? And then they get Bitcoin. And then what they do with the Bitcoin, I have no idea. I guess they just keep it in a wallet for now. But if those people who use it, they're gonna think, oh yeah, the block by wallet. They're gonna think to themselves like, hey, maybe it's gonna go up, so I'm just gonna hold it, and then they just treat it like gold. In the sense that they speculate that it's gonna have more value, and then once you have something like this, right, BlackRock coming in here, it's like, oh, okay, so big money is going to get behind it. It's really dependent on people believing in it, and then also it being visible. And these two things, I think especially this one, once it starts coming out, I really believe that Bitcoin price is going to go up. But like I said, I could be wrong. For someone who's willing to pay $200 for an annual fee, and then get their money not in airline miles, not in rewards point, but specifically Bitcoin, that person really has to be on the person in Bitcoin, or at least be open to the idea of getting Bitcoin and then saving it. And I don't know what you use with the Bitcoin. It's just kind of like a store of value that's against inflation. Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing to see extreme Bitcoin. Yeah. That's the scary thing about Bitcoin. I know some people invest a lot of money into Bitcoin. It's worked out really well for them, especially the early adapters. And I've said this to you guys. If you bought Bitcoin, let's say around here, right? Let's say you bought it in 2018 when it was around 18K. If you saw Bitcoin, so all these people over here are saying like buy Bitcoin because it's going up, oh, buy Bitcoin, right? You buy Bitcoin over here. Once it starts crashing, you have every reason to tell people to buy Bitcoin because you want to get your money back, right? Because you bought it over here, kind of like me and Mara. So when people are at that level, they're like buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. But then you also have some people who are like screw it, I don't like this. I don't like how turbulent it is. I don't like how volatile it is. So they sell, and then it drops lower. That's how in, let's see, when was this? December 2011, it's around 18K or so. And then June, 6 months later, it's at 6K. Yeah, so it took what, 66% nosedive. And then more people sold off, right? Because there's no news about Bitcoin. And then this becomes the base, and people are like, hey, this is really cheap. Let's get in. I would say these are the people who believe in it. The people who are like, you can't shake us out. We're going to buy it. And then they buy it, and then they buy more, and then the price drives up. People hear about it again. And then the stuff with the situation happened. And then people think, oh, yeah, we should invest in something safe, something that doesn't have to deal with inflation, and that's why Bitcoin went back up again. So all these people along the way, these new people, right? Because so many new people heard about Bitcoin. All these people along over here, if they had sold over here, they feel like idiots because the price went up. And all the people who bought upwards have every reason to tell people to keep buying, because if they don't buy and the stock goes down, they financially hurt. See? So all these people, all their gains and everything, they're like, this is a great investment. I'm making money. And yeah, that's why they tell people to buy. And they don't want people to sell off. They always want to keep the demand, because if this crashes down just like it did back over here, you're going to have a massive sellout. So, yeah, just I guess the idea behind this would be everybody needs to hold. If people don't hold, or if they don't keep investing into this or buying into this kind of stuff, it's gonna crash, and then it hurts everybody. And curious to see what happens, because once you add things like this and this, it will make people think that they really should hold. And yeah, so what's gonna happen in 6 months or a year? Who knows? Who knows? So, if anybody wants to invest in Bitcoin, I would say that if you believe in it really, really strongly, then you should be okay with the volatility. But for me, even me just seeing Mara, it's pretty sickening, because I don't want to see a 10% drop in my portfolio. I think that, but I also think that for the people who have, let's say 50% returns, 60% returns, 120% returns, 500% returns, they could care less about this stuff. So it's all a matter of perspective. If you invested early in, you're more resistant to the price drops, because you already have a comfortable buffer. So for example, right, the people who invested in Apple, or the people who invested in Microsoft, let's say 10 years ago when it was much cheaper, if Apple drops down 10% tomorrow, they aren't going to care, because they're going to say, well, I'm at such a huge profit margin that I can take the 10% drop and not even care for about it. So, um, so keep Mara, sell half Mara. I'm tempted to just sell half of my Mara. So I only have $500 invested in Mara, so $500, and then put it into BlackBerry, CCIV, AKTS, that kind of thing. And maybe it'll pan out, maybe it won't pan out. Who knows? I could definitely sell my half the Mara, and then it goes up 15% the next day or in the next 3 days. That's the risk I have. So I think is working is gonna be rolling out Ethereum too. Let's see, Ethereum. Well, was it? I might be remembering it wrong. Oh yeah, here we go. So Ethereum is soon to be a payment option on Apple Pay. See that? Look at that. The US based users of this wallet will be limited to $500 in purchases on a daily basis, plus $500 a week and $5,000 a year. What? You can only buy $500 a week? Jeez. Or cap out $5,000 a year. It's like they're regulating how much you can use with the Apple Pay, and I think part of it is that they maybe they don't want to have, I don't know, maybe they want to handle the load. It's kind of strange, right? Have you ever heard about a currency where they're like, yeah, you can only be buying $500 on a daily basis? Kind of strange to me. But yeah, yeah. I don't know how this is gonna go. I really don't know how to use Bitcoin except maybe I think like when people make purchases, it will always be in USD. I don't see it as being used as like Bitcoin or Ethereum because there's just so much price volatility, right? I mean, like if I want to buy a sandwich, or buy a sandwich and they accept Bitcoin, like what is it going to be? Like 1 minute, it's going to be a different price than another minute. I'm just going to stand there and be like, oh, whoa, wait, hold up a second. Right now I owe you like 0.000 Bitcoin, and then 0.002 Bitcoin, and then next thing I know, it's going to be 0.003 Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. What? Wall Street bets are pushing. Wall Street bets pushes BlackBerry and GameStop right now on Palantir. The only one that I feel comfortable holding as a long would be BlackBerry, because I think BlackBerry is undervalued. So I'm happy that it's getting pushed up. But um, do I see GameStop? I don't know about that. If you want to buy a game, you could buy it on Amazon. You could buy it on like Best Buy. You have so many different outlets. Retail stores. I don't see it as. Let me put it this way: if you could buy something online and have it shipped to you, and you don't have to leave the house, and you pay free shipping, I don't really see the point of going into the store. Yeah, so GME, what I've been hearing is that they say pump GME and then pull the profits out and then put it into BlackBerry. But the thing is that how do you know when people are going to be pulling out of GME, right? You don't want to be buying GME late and then everybody says, oh, sell your GME so we can all pull it into BlackBerry, because you might be the bag holder, just like with me and Mara, right? So I think it's better to invest in a long, and I see BlackBerry as a longer. So I rather invest in BlackBerry, and then when it pops up even higher, great. But I won't expect a huge sell off for BlackBerry. And even if there's a sell off, I have a cushion right now. I'm at like 60% up, so it's okay. Mm. Yeah, you're talking about the Chewy guy, right? The Chewy CEO. Yeah, but I don't know. I make fun of GameStops. Even like 3 months ago, I walked past a GameStop and I was like, "Who the hell goes to GameStop?" I look into the store; it's like freaking so empty. And then I pass by with Lewis, and we're both talking like, "Yeah, is GameStop gonna go in the way of Blockbuster? Like, jeez, what are people gonna buy in there, right?" But anyway, for whatever reason, people are pumping up GameStop, and it's not a bad thing. I'm sure people holding along in GameStop were really, really, really happy, and they made big money out of it. But me, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with Little Berry. Yeah, I don't. Uh, there was this thing where it came out. They had a conference call, and just it pissed me off. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it made me think like I never want to buy. I never want to support GameStop, and I understand that they have management changes, and there's all sorts of changes right now. They have like some DoorDash or some kind of same day delivery with the games, and I'm like, yeah, not really feeling. But I'll look into GameStop and see if my opinion changes on that. Anyway, I need to get going, so I will talk to you guys later. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts about Bitcoin is, or what you guys think I should do about Mara. I'm leaning that I should sell half on Mara, or and then try and chase either, or try and go after BlackBerry instead this week, because I'm not seeing Mara shoot up 33% in the next week. And maybe BlackBerry won't either, but I feel like I have more confidence in that. And then I can always reinvest later. But if Mara goes up 15% right after I sell it, I'm like, fuck. So, yeah, just a lot of things. So the thing that out of all my newer investments, the ones that kind of and that I'm the most uh, concerned about is Mara, because Mara is the one that's gone 33%. I And yeah, AKTS is doing good, CCIV is doing good, BlackBerry is doing good, Neo is in the positive again, and what else is there? What was the other one that I invested in? Zomedica. I'm just gonna hold until earnings in March and see if that pops up. Yeah, but Mara is just kind of like the thorn in my side. But I know if I hold on to it long and then I see I see like BlackBerry shoot up, or other stocks shoot up, let's say 50%, I'm like, frick, I'm still waiting for more. Yeah, I'm not gonna be too happy about that. I could have made back whatever I lost, but as I said, normally I don't do that kind of stuff. Normally the things that I invest in, it's things that I see a long term for, and Mara was really just the FOMO stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.